Off of some of the things that you just said, relating it back to children, though, like these foundational things are so important because it is when your kids leave the house
Yeah.
that like you need to like, you still want to have a marriage.
Right.
You know, you don't want like your kids to leave and then you're like, oh, wait, why are we together again? Like I hear that happens.
That does happen. That's such a weird thing. I wonder, because isn't that part of like the whole empty nest?
I don't know if that's part of the empty nest. I don't know about that, but I've heard.
Because I hear that a lot. The kids move out of the house. I think what happens is, from what I've heard, is you had this sort of common bond through your children that sort of was the glue for your marriage.
Right.
And that's also unhealthy.
Right. Yes.
Your children, and this is a great thing to bring up in this topic. Your children cannot be the glue to your marriage.
Yeah.
Your marriage needs to be healthy apart from your kids.
Yes.
You need to devote date nights. You need to devote alone time after the kids have gone to bed. You need to do the necessary marriage things.
Right.
And really make sure that you're glued together apart from your kids.
Yes.
Because I think that is what it stems from, is like after the kids leave the house, they don't know, a lot of couples don't know how to be a couple without their kids.
Yep.
And it makes sense.
It does make sense.
It makes sense.
And you said that it was unhealthy, and I believe that it is. And not only is it unhealthy for you, but it's also unhealthy for your kids. Like, it's not good for your kids to, like, they might catch on to that because maybe like I don't know, I have all the answers for this. This is just speculation, but like maybe they see that like you like almost are dependent on their love, or like they are your world, which I can totally understand that because we love our children so much. But if they're not seeing like a strong marriage, that's not going to be good for them when they are trying to look for a spouse.
Right.
And then they also, even once they're out of their house, they still want to see their parents have a strong marriage and be together.
Right.
And that will be good for their kids. And
right. Because there's two things there. There's the first thing is, there's the example that you need to be for your kids, because if they're the reason that you're still together, they're going to look at kids as a way of staying together with their future.
I never even thought about that.
Partners.
Yeah.
They're going to look at, we need kids.
That will help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do this. A lot of people will get married and kind of be living 50-50 and be like, I know what'll fix this.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah. No.
No, it won't. No. It will not.
It's going to make it harder.
It will. Children are difficult things to work through. And if your marriage is on the rocks before then, it's going to be hell.
Yeah, it is.
Like no other way to put it. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So I see that, making sure that you're setting the example for how you want them to exist in their own marriages and not have kids be a focus for how to keep, to be the glue in their marriage.
Right.
And then also you don't want your marriage to fall apart after the kids leave the house, because they're going to know that there was that dependency there.
Yeah.
And then when the marriage falls apart, they're going to blame themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair to your kids. And I see that so much. I've had that in my own family.
Yeah.
I've had, I'm not going to get specific, but people have divorced after the kids moved out of the house.
Right.
Gone to college, and then the marriage falls apart.
Yeah.
And it takes years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the stories that I've had in my own family, like years for those kids to recover from that, to kind of get all their questions answered, to get over and learn that it wasn't their fault, to forgive their parents for the hurt that it caused, You know, it's just that's another thing that's just very unhealthy. I am not a fan of divorce. I think there are scenarios in which that it's proper, but you know, if your spouse isn't beating the crap out of you emotionally or physically, it's hard. It's hard for me to justify divorce.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, infidelity is another one that I understand
Yeah.
divorce in those scenarios. I don't know if it's always right.
Yeah.
Again, for your kids, when you've brought children into the world, it changes everything.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the pain of someone cheating on me within marriage. You know, I can't imagine.
No.
But that commitment that you've made to that person and the commitment and the responsibility that you have by bringing kids into the world may outweigh the pain. Not outweigh, but it may be reason enough for you to even work on your marriage after something as horrific as that.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of divorce. I'm just not a fan because I think most people, like you pointed out earlier, most people that look to divorce within marriages already were looking at divorce before they got married.
Or they just weren't all in. They were just kind of
That's
like,
what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, you already left the door open when you got married.
Right. Yep.
You can't hope and be 100%.
Yeah.
You know, hope is not something like hope is a good thing. I like hope. Hope is good.
Yes.
But in marriage,
you decide. You don't hope. You
marriage
decide.
is a decision.
Yeah.
Marriage is a commitment. Marriage is something that you have to jump into all the way. Jump into the deep end. You cannot dip your feet.
Right.
Because all those things are on the table automatically.
Yep.
Automatically. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you could make those decisions after, you know, you've already gotten married and maybe you weren't in that place when you got married.
Right.
But it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder because you already made one commitment halfway.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'll make the next decision to like, oh, I think I'm going to jump in the deep end now. And you just get in the shallow end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Analogy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's true. You think about arranged marriages back in the day. I don't even know. That seems like ages and ages ago.
Yeah.
But and from the way it sounds, like those people stayed together. Like I'm sure that it wasn't like delightful, especially at first. Like I cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm not advocating for that either. But what I'm saying is there was kind of like it was like a cultural thing back then where you get married and that's your person now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Especially because in those same cultures that had arranged marriages, you were still like a part of that was also to bring children into the world.
Yeah.
Like that was a mandate.
Right, right.
You were getting married and you were going to make babies.
Right.
That's just a thing. Interestingly enough, parts of the world that still do arranged marriages have better rates of staying together than countries that don't.
Because it's not based on your feelings.
Right. It's based on
a decision. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And
arranged marriages. No. I'm
but
just kidding.
it's just a big example of how powerful a marriage can be, even if those feelings go.
Right.
You know, you can do it. Decide. You know.
And yeah, and going back to even just not arranged marriages, but culturally, you know, you look at your grandparents and stuff like that. Maybe you have a terrible, you know, example in your grandparents, but maybe they're still together.
Right.
And maybe they, you know, were together till death.
Yeah.
Maybe their marriage wasn't healthy,
Mhm.
but there was just a cultural thing. Like, you got married, you had kids, you're going to stay together till you die.
Right.
And it's valuable.
It's
valuable. We have too many escape pods in our culture right now. And we don't really get strong on like the things we're talking about tonight. You know, we make up these phrases like marriage is 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's an escape pod in itself.
That's an escape pod in itself, but it's a part of our culture now.
Yeah.
You know, we teach it to people in like marriage counseling.
Yeah.
You know, hey guys, you know, you really got to come together. This is going to be a 50-50 thing. You got to really work on, you know, making sure you're giving and take, you know, give and take.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? You know, like what I always say to you, what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know what? You sometimes are that way with me.
Except
you
with
know.
my chocolate.
Except with your chocolate. I can't touch your chocolate.
You can, but there might be a problem. You'll have to go out to the store and get me some more.
Yeah. Yeah, you cut Brittany, she bleeds chocolate. Dark chocolate. That is how how you survive marriage with children. Chocolate. Chocolate is an essential aspect.
You must have it in the
a
house.
Marriage. You know, as you're communicating, as you're debriefing and making sure you're all on the same page, make sure your wife has a chocolate bar. High end, you know, maybe Dove, you know, if you're on the cheaper side. But it's just necessary.
It is.
It's just necessary. Maybe ice cream, but sometimes it just doesn't sasatisfy.
It's true. Sometimes you need both.
You need the hard stuff. You need the hard, dark stuff.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate. Kind of want some now. But I won't touch.
Good job.
Yeah. Successful marriage. There we go. What's up, everybody? You just watched a clip from one of our Just Breathing podcasts. If you want to see the full version, you just hit the link in the description below. Or if you want to just keep watching clips, we got some more right here. Thanks, everybody.